It was a relaxing Spa weekend for everyone except Sainz and the McLaren boys, thanks to a Turn 1 incident and McLaren gambling on their car setup. I personally went on vacation, hence the timing of this video, but thankfully Max and his race engineer made it feel like a real family vacation by bickering the whole time.
Don't forget, Max, use your head, please.
Are we both doing it or what?
You just follow my instruction.
No, I want to know if both cars do it.
Max, please follow my instruction and trust it. Thank you.
Good old uncomfortable silence, just like Mom and Dad used to make. Welcome to Race Weekend Update. My name is Stacey Hewen, and we're going to have some laughs together at the expense of the Belgian Grand Prix. McLaren set their car up for wet conditions, cranking up the downforce, which paid off in quali and the sprint, but thanks to the race being dry, made their car look like it was dragging a parachute down the straights. And unlike parachute day at school, this was clearly not fun. Oscar's Turn 1 crash with Carlos made a lot of Piastri fans say, "It's a terrible day for rain."
What do you mean? It's not raining.
Yes, it is.
Oh, so it is.
Max Verstappen and his race engineer Gianpiero Lambiase were making snide remarks at each other all weekend, which a lot of pundits were trying to claim demonstrates how close of a relationship they have. Divorced children around the world exchanged a knowing glance as they too remember convincing themselves that their parents arguing in public was just demonstrating how comfortable they were with each other. Max started in 6th place because he had a penalty for taking a new gearbox, but he still managed to finish 22 seconds ahead of everyone else, including his teammate, who started 4 spots ahead of him in an identical car, which really makes you wonder how much longer they're planning to wait before they put Danny or Yuki in that second Red Bull. Speaking of the 2 worst cars on the grid, AlphaTauri lead driver Yuki Tsunoda finished in 10th place, 6 positions ahead of his newest cuck, Daniel Ricciardo. After the race, Yuki asked how many more washed-up old drivers he needs to dominate before Helmut Marko puts him in that second Red Bull seat. 21 laps into the race, there was hope for everyone except the Dutch as a light sprinkling of rain caused Max to lose his rear going into Eau Rouge, and though he managed to recover it and continue winning like nothing happened, I couldn't help but be reminded of my most recent trip to Burger King, where afterward I briefly lost control of my rear but managed to recover and continue like nothing happened, and luckily there was no Eau Rouge involved. Now over to the Canadian positivity guy for the Canadian summary of the Grand Prix. Well, you've heard the British guys enough, so why don't you listen to somebody else for a change? I took a vacation this weekend and went to LTX. If you want to see the videos my brother and I made at the convention, we'll link them at the end of this video and in the description. As for the race, I figured I don't even need to watch the race to know that Max won. Was I right? And now back to your regularly scheduled programming. For the poll of the week, I asked, if you had to choose right now, who would be in the second Red Bull seat at the start of 2024? 38% of respondents said Sergio Perez, 18% said Yuki Tsunoda, and 44% Daniel Ricciardo. And of course, the best answers are always in the comments, with the most popular response being Albon and followed by, bless your hearts, Sebastian Vettel. I would bust a nut super hard if I found out Seb was returning to the grid. I just don't have it in me to watch him get destroyed by Max Verstappen in his prime. And now the reward for all my loyal viewers who make it right to the end. The spicy joke of the week. A day at the spa is supposed to be relaxing, but this day at spa was more like a day at the bathhouse for Charles Leclerc, who started off sitting on pole and then immediately got fucked by a dominant bull.